use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
What are you doing? What are you doing? No, that's gasoline.
Was there
A few moments.
some type of direction? Or you just felt like this is what you needed to do? Okay, Cherokee War Chief, what on the earth does that have to do with an MLK? Same mentality, okay? And that's why he's putting you in a position in which you can still breathe.
They're on their way.
But you're
Nobody's trying to hurt you. We just want to make sure the house, nothing happens to it. And
No, we had just.
yeah. Are you comfortable, young lady?
Looking at this crib.
Okay, as long as you can breathe and you're comfortable, we're good.
I gotta call my sister and tell her we're a little late.
no, it's the police are on their way. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hear you cooling.
It's fine. The police are on their way.
Okay, so if it's in a real emergency, like there's no emergency vehicles.
Well, it seems like they didn't know the address. Here they come.
Okay, I hear something.
Because you know they got the reports. We told y'all to come down to the precinct.
Okay,
Here they come.
Opposite direction.
You doing okay? So
How you doing?
me and him were looking at the house, just checking it out. We're not from here, and she came up behind us, had a gas can, and at first she just seemed like she was kind of doing her thing. Like I thought maybe she was watering the plants or
Happened
something.
to be using the gas can
Yeah.
to water the plants.
And then she had trouble getting it open, so eventually she unscrewed the top and threw it to the ground and walked up on the porch and under the rope and started dumping the gas all over the porch. So instantly it's like, okay, this is not good. And I said, what are you doing? What are you doing? And you could smell the gas. So she came back down, she dropped the can in the bushes and then came back down to grab her lighter.
So let's go ahead and cover it.
The vehicle has valid insurance. You get a chance, I'm in 7211 when you're ready.
Hey, ma'am, you all right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be checked out by Grady or something? What's going on today? You want to stand up for us?
I got a silver terrain, Florida Tech 17.
You all right? Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Adam Seabrook, Blackmail.
You know your name? Step back over here. Well, we can go. Matter of fact, we can go.
Hey, I'm spit the leaves off of her. Oh my gosh, I'm just a mom. I'm sorry.
To Adam Seabrook.
Also her.
This is her phone?
This is her
This
keys.
is
This is
her
her car right here.
Yes, and that's her car. You got the keys also? And this is the ladder that was on her? Right.
It's fentanyl in the
5647.
Gotcha, bitch!
And a potential flight risk. That's what a judge had to say about the woman arrested for attempting to set Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth home on fire. She denied Laneisha Henderson bail, saying she's afraid she might do something similar again.
Ms. Henderson, I did not set a bond in your case today.
Fulton County Magistrate Judge Holly Hughes denied 26-year-old Laneisha Henderson bond Saturday. Hughes gave two reasons for doing it. First, that Henderson doesn't live in Georgia.
She gave an address in a different state, so I find that there is a likelihood that she may not return to court.
Second was the shocking nature of the crime.
I'm extremely concerned about the randomness of this event. There does not seem to be any reason or tie to that particular location, and I do believe that based on that alone, given the complete and utter randomness, that she does pose a danger. I think we all know that this is on video, so you clearly see what she's doing. The entire thing has been recorded, and she did not want to stop what she was doing. So, Mr. Cazzoli, for today, she will remain in a no-bond status until we have some further information to go forward on. Okay, I do believe that this act would have been completed, but for some citizens jumping in to stop it. And I am leaving her in a no-bond status today as a danger to the community and the community's property.
This video shows Henderson dousing the birthplace of Martin Luther King Jr. with gasoline before trying to light it on fire. This video shows two retired New York City police officers, and they're also brothers, who sprang into action.
So I looked to my brother and I said, let's go get him. So we jumped back in our rental red Tesla and chased her down the street. And we saw her trying to run behind a house. We jumped out the car, we chased her behind the home, and we was able to pin her down and apprehend her behind the house.
King's son, Martin Luther King III, says the family and the King Foundation are extremely grateful to these men.
That just goes to show the great humanity of people when they see someone who may be attempting to do something that is terrible.
Now, Henderson is set to have another hearing where her team will get another opportunity to make their case if she should get bond. Federal charges could be on the way as well.
It was not a little thing. This was really big. Now, speaking of Laneisha, her Facebook is interesting. In 2020, she posted this. It's a post of a guy standing in front of the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. He's got on a Falcons jersey, number 21 Deion Sanders, with a red gas can in his hand, and it says, "Lord, forgive me for what I'm gonna do if these folks don't rise up tomorrow." I guess we can say that didn't age well. Then a day or so before the incident, Laneisha posted that she loved her dad. Now, it was her dad who showed up with her 3 sisters when she got in trouble. He's been cooperating and telling the police that his daughter had mental issues. He got in trouble. He's been cooperating and telling the police that his daughter had mental issues. He's originally from Eufaula, Alabama. Laneisha is also from the area. Looks like her dad moved to Atlanta in the early 2000s. Laneisha may have stayed back in Alabama or at some point spent time in both Georgia and Alabama. She graduated from high school in Eufaula, Alabama. That was back in 2016. So her putting that she was from Atlanta on Facebook may not be true. Everything is pointing towards her coming from Alabama. She also told Facebook that she moved to Tallahassee, Florida in 2020, where she settled in the Southwood neighborhood briefly. However, when she was arrested, the address listed on the incident report is in Brandon, Florida, which is in the Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Sarasota area. I also saw a discrepancy with the address on the jail records versus the incident report. The jail records had her listed in Eufaula, Alabama. Laneisha, she's been in multiple places. She spent a couple of years in the U.S. Navy. She's got the black womanist vibe, and her Facebook also suggested that she was a supporter of Malachi York, which is very controversial. You have people who support him, that's on his side, and you have others who condemn him. Malachi York was sentenced to 135 years in prison on RICO charges surrounding financial crimes and tampering with young girls and boys. Men like Brother Polite defended him, and as you know, Brother Polite himself was sentenced to 7 years in prison this year for tampering with one of the daughters of one of the single mothers in his harem. You know, women join these groups like this and love offering up their daughters and their sons. And I remember reporting on Brother Polite when this happened. Of course, people didn't like it, especially the women, because you know I'm going to tell the whole truth, not just one part. But I hate that I was right. You know, it's a difference between allegations and accusations with actual evidence. Yes, evidence, not feelings, not if you like somebody, not if you don't like somebody, evidence. And you know, you can't argue with DNA. Now, what would Laneisha know about this guy, Malachi York? Not sure, because he's been locked up since she was a toddler. So Laneisha putting this up on her Facebook page, Free Malachi Z. York, and then like the same day, she went and tried to burn down the MLK home. I don't know, it's all really bizarre, and we still don't know the motive. For one, somebody please tell me, why is all the mainstream media ignoring this story? I guess it didn't fit the narrative because she's a black woman, so they may rule out classifying this as a hate crime and completely ignore that there's a growing population of black women who are open misandrists and constantly spewing their misandry aimed at black men, literally calling for them to be harmed. All of them are nutcases, obviously, but that doesn't mean they should be ignored and not held accountable. I'm still trying to understand how Laneisha flew off the handle and aimed to destroy the legacy home of Dr.